Hello and welcome back. So today is the day that we crush the grapes and get them on the stove. So I've seen a couple different methods where one lady goes and takes the grapes whole and fills with water and cooks them till the skins burst. But I watched this other guy do, and he uses a potato ricer. So, I don't know if I can do this with one hand. Maybe I can. So, he puts the grapes in, and now I learned from him that you can actually leave the green, unripened grapes on because they don't actually mash when you put them through the masher, and even when they cook they don't rupture or anything, so there's no point in picking them off. And he lives in Ontario, just about an hour away from where I am, so he's using the same wild grapes. Wow, that was a feat to be able to do that. So we just press down. Now I forgot this. I had something I was ricing once and it kind of bent the masher, but I think it's better if I do it with two hands. But we have some juice coming out, and that's pressing those skins and the stems and the seeds, getting that contact that I think is valuable. And then I'm just gonna dump it in here. And it didn't mash all the grapes. Some of them are still kind of whole. So, but what you do is you go and you cook down the mash. So fill with water in the pot and cook it down. I'm so excited. I have a whole entire stock pot. Cheese. This is the first time I've ever had so much grapes. And on top of that, I had this much already. So this is only half of my grapes. So anyway, gonna move on to mashing, and we will be back in a little while. Okay, back again. My defective masher wasn't cutting it. It was mashing, but it was only like halfway. So I decided to just use my normal potato masher just to give those all a little squeeze. Oh, it smells so lovely. It smells like you want to cook a duck in it or something. It's got this nice wild berry, sour, yet grassy, sweet, outdoor smell. Oh, so happy. Got about halfway down the pot now. This is how much juice I extracted from this much grape. But the trick is you cook it down, because see, there were grapes that were still whole. So I usually just mash them in the pan, but I have such a great volume that I have to mash in smaller amounts so that all the grapes get contact with the masher. So, a little more. Look at these beautiful grapes. Mushy, mushy, mushy. Look at that nice juice coming up. Ooh, 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 ooh. You can see like a little slick on top, like oil. I'm not sure if that's the white coating on the outside, that's like a waxiness that we're seeing, or if it's the oils from the vine, the skins, the seeds. It wouldn't be from the seeds because the seeds were not crushing. But anyways, okay, I gotta go. A cat is meowing at the door and I have to go let him in. Okie dokie. So all of the grapes have been mashed, and I strained the juice out. Not really like tight. I ended up dumping it and made a bit of a mess, and I had to okay, let's back this up. And I'm just trying to find the reading. I like to use this pot because it shows me how much I have. About 6 liters. 6 liters of mashed grapes. So this is actually half the volume as the full grapes. So when the grapes were full on the stems, with all the space that is in between each grape on the stem, it takes up double the amount of space in the pan. And I was able to extract, this is my 4-cup measure. It's funny because we're talking liters and cups, but anyways, we have, there's the 4-cup, and it's a little bit more. I could pour that into my other measuring cup just to see. Probably got about 5.5 cups altogether. Oh, I don't know if I can do this on camera. Oh. Actually, I'm going to pour it into this pan here. Yeah, okay. I just want to dust that out a little. Wow, that's really pretty. Okay, so this is the juice that was mashed. Now, it hasn't been strained. It's just, I'm going to cook it on the stove for a little. Let's see what we got for measure. It looks like, I can't see, that's 1.5 liter up high. So it's about 1 liter, 1 liter of juice. And that came just from the pressing. And we're going to cook this down, then we're going to strain this. I'm going to cook this as well because I understand that the yeast, the naturally occurring yeasts that are in the waxy coating on the outside of the grape, can augment the flavor of the yeast, the flavor of the wine, because the yeast is what gives it flavor. I didn't know that. Well, I think also the wine gives it flavor, the grapes give it flavor, and so does the sugar. But anyway, so just to sort of I'm following between 2 YouTubers. Dave Finkel is the one who used the potato masher, and I don't know the other lady's name. It's some sisters. Just a second. Okay. Sorry. So it's Sister Kate Shofar Mountain is the other YouTuber, and hers is Homestead Making Wild Grape Wine Off Grid. So probably can't see that so great, but and the other, I don't know where Shofar Mountain is. Okay, Google, where's Shofar Mountain? I have a feeling it's in the States somewhere, but I'm not sure. Anyways, so Sister Kate left her berries whole on the vine and just cooked until the grape skins burst. And Dave Finkel smashed his grapes and then cooked down the mash. He reserved the juice that came after mashing and heated that as well as the mash. So I'm using his method for the smashing and juicing, but I might use her method for the sugar at the mixing of the ratio, because she ended up with 56 ounces of juice, added 56 ounces of water and 56 ounces of sugar to 1 pack of yeast that she floated on top of a piece of bread. So, and then she just put it in a bucket with like a cloth over top, and 10 days later it was ready to bottle. So I think I like that idea better. Dave Finkel put his in a bucket to mix, but then he put it into a big glass jug with a bobber on top and said it would be ready in 5 months. I'm like, no, no, I can't handle that. I can't handle a big giant glass jug. It's too heavy for me. I can't manage it. Um, Sister Kate used a ladle to pull hers out of her bucket, and with a big mouth in the bucket you can do that. So I have challenges physically that I have to take into consideration, and moving it from floor, like basement and stuff like that, is something else I can't do. So I have to have something that I can have just in my kitchen space, probably just set it over there next to the fridge. Keep it warm. It needs to be 20 degrees, between 20 and 35 degrees for fermentation, and colder and hotter will kill the yeast and abort the process. So, anyways, alrighty, looks like we're getting a little bit of steam rolling off of this guy, and I see a little bit of action with some bubbles coming up on this guy, getting hotter. So after this, we'll come back. After this boils for a few minutes, we'll come back and strain into our pail, I believe. Exciting. So what we've done here so far is I took the pure juice that I strained out, which turned out to be exactly 1 liter, and cooked it down. So that was what came from the mash of the grapes, the whole grape mash. Now we're going with the juice that was extracted from cooking down that mash. And there's 1 liter. I'm just putting it through a sieve with a cheesecloth. And I like to measure everything so I know what I'm working with here. So just a moment. Okay, so we're at 2 liters here, plus there's another 2 liters in the pail, which is 1 liter of fresh juice plus 1 liter of the mashed. So altogether, so far, I've got 3 liters of mashed juice and 1 liter of fresh, and so I strained off and I pressed just gently with in the strainer to get the excess juice. See how there's still a bit of juice in the bottom of the pot, even though I've strained it out. So now I'm just going to press there's still a little bit more vines in there, a little more mash in there. Nice and tart. Okay. Oops, better wash my hands. And so just show you. So I just took my little 2-cup measure and just pressing to get that juice out of the skins. I could put it in a cheesecloth bag and let it drip, but at this point right now, I want to get the process moving along because it's day's half over, and I still have to get the sugar and the yeast and everything in there. So just gonna press that. And I understand what you can do is you can keep on running water through here. So my one recipe that I was going by tells you to measure out your juice and then add water equal to the amount. So what I think I might do is run the water through that I have to add, run the water through this and strain it one more time so that we're getting a nice robust, and actually even the remains in here. So what I've been doing is anytime I'm rinsing, I take the water, rinse water, and reserve it in a bowl. So I'm just going to give a quick little rinse of the sides of this pot. Actually, I'll give it a swish to collect all that juice and everything. I'll do that when I have two hands available. And my tongue is starting to turn purple. The color of my shirt. I wore this on purpose in case I spilled anything. So let's take a peek and see. So measure out this last bit of mashed juice. So as I said before, we've already gotten 3 liters. And oh, there we go. 500 mils. Right there. So 3.5 liters of juice, of mashed juice, plus 1 liter of squeezed fresh juice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 liters together. Plus we'll probably get a little bit more. Oh, so yeah, so then I'm gonna put that much water. I'm gonna put 4.5 liters of water, and I'll figure out the sugar content for that. And then I have my fun little bobber guy, my hydrometer, which we'll put in and make sure there's enough sugar to get the alcohol content that we're looking for wine, which is about 12%. And then once that's settled and comes to room temperature, then we add the yeast. Ha ha ha! Okay, see you soon. Okay, here is a super quick video because we don't have much time left. I have to get to doing some editing, but I added the sugar. So I added 3 kilograms of sugar, and it gave us about 1.24 a reading on the hydrometer. And Eric at Bodega Wine told me I should get it to about this part right here, which I guess would be 1.1 or 1.11. So what I did is I added just a little bit more water, probably another liter of water in there just to balance it out. Now I'm sitting at the 10 mark. Oh, okay, it's floating a little higher right now. I think I'm going to leave it there. I would need to fiddle with sugar. I don't want to add any more sugar. And so what I'm going to do, let's take a little taste. It's good. It tastes like sweet grape juice. So, just going to adds. I sound like Smeagol. Add the yeast here and put the lid on. Okay, so here is the yeast, the EC118, which is actually the same yeast that the YouTuber Dave was looking at. And so I noticed on the package, on the back of the package, that it said to rehydrate before use. So Eric from Bodega told me to use tepid water, and he showed me how much the temperature would be. So like you would bath a baby in, he said. And so we've got the yeast acting up. It's got about 2 ounces of water, which I figured out is about 60 milliliters of tepid water, about 35 degrees Celsius. And now we're just going to add that to the must, which is what the wine juice is called, the wine concoction. And I'm just going to scoop that leftover bit out. Then I'm just going to place the lid on top, not snap it into place, just rest it on top. And okay, so here we are coming back with the lid. Just going to place it on top so that way any air can flow out, any gases can escape, all on its own. If I was concerned that any creepy crawlies getting in there, he said I can put a bag of potatoes on top. So I have a bag of my homegrown potatoes, and I'm just gonna place that on top. And I guess the air will still be able to get out, but nothing will be able to get in. A Home Depot brew. Home Depot homemade. Total DIY. Awesome. So we'll see you back in about 10 days when we take a taste and see what's what. Yay!